By the end of this, I had my fill. It was kind of like, I know I was bitching about not having enough in the first film, but I'm good now. I've been at the table for long enough. The light of that just coming towards him without any diffusion from his brothers, I understood it and was horrified by it. Being a kind of a cartilage to the second film, which I haven't read yet. I know Matt's been working hard on the script, and I'd say I'd love to get a look at it soon. I think they're going to shoot it next year.
He betrayed me, the daughter of the Falcone Don. What have they done to you?
I got a lot of heat on me.
We had a deal. We look out for each other. We don't f each other over.
After everything I've done for you!
Something that stuck in my mind so entirely when I finished this series.
Close your ears.
Is that monstrous moment from his childhood. I thought it was an incredible moment that we really learned so much about him.
Yeah.
Reading that in the scripts, kind of how did that then impact how you approached the character?
Oh, that's kind of the cornerstone around which everything is built the rest of his life. It certainly, it is the foundation or the springboard upon which he is launched into the world. That decision that he makes as a child in that moment, and the reasons why he does it, so that he can have the isolation of his mother's love directed solely towards him, the light of that just coming towards him without any diffusion from his brothers. I understood it and was horrified by it, and knew that it was something that I think he, I think he washed his hands of it totally and has convinced himself that it didn't happen the way it did. It's that grave, but it's in there somewhere. Yeah, the darkness, and it was there at that age. That's the thing. So I don't know what the show is about. It should be entertaining more than anything else, but I know Lauren did want to kind of approach the notion that monsters are more often than not created by family, by society, by circumstance, rather than just being born. I think both are the case, but in this, probably both. I mean, he was probably born with some kind of internal, and then he had what he had to deal with his foot, and the sense of exclusion and the bullying and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he was a creature of nature and nurture, I think, very much.
Yeah, for me it just made everything sort of click into place.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant
sweet
moment. You've been very open about how tough that sitting in that makeup chair was.
I'm very careful I'm not moaning too much.
No, not at all, but I can imagine. The series ends kind of, it could satisfyingly end there, or we could open it up for more. There's a brilliant Catwoman tease if we wanted more. Would you be open to more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it was only ever envisioned as a 8-hour limited series, but it's gone pretty well, and I would imagine when things tend to go well, people tend to want to revisit them, sometimes to the detriment of not the original vision, because that stays intact, but sometimes it can go awry. If they came up with an amazing way to do another 8 hours, and if it fit in primarily to Matt Reeves' vision, because this whole show really had to work with being born of the Batman film and also being a kind of a cartilage to the second film, which I haven't read yet. I know Matt's been working hard on the script, and I'd say I'd love to get a look at it soon. I think they're going to shoot it next year. But it has to, Matt is the one, Matt's the wizard of this whole universe. So Lauren LaFranc and her team of writers, myself, Mike Marino, of course, when we were deciding that the Penguin would look the way he did, we all have to be in step with what Matt's vision is. So if Matt wants to do a second season, for sure, I'd consider it, yeah. I mean, by the end of this, I had my fill. It was kind of like, I know I was bitching about not having enough in the first film, but I'm good now. I've been at the table for long enough. It was amazing, but yeah, it was quite a thing, the whole thing.
Yeah, and someone else I loved in the series was Kristen Sofia Falcone.
Yeah,
I thought
she's brilliant.
your chemistry was absolutely amazing. Just can you tease a bit about where that very complex relationship is going to go throughout the season?
Throughout the show that we did, yeah, they have a history which is explored particularly in episode 4, which is mostly Kristen's episode. We go into her backstory and we see very vividly why she is the Sofia that we meet at this time in the present, and what she has been put to, and how she's been kind of subjugated and treated with extraordinary, immense cruelty. And we share a history, and we share a very particular event that took place as well, and there was a certain betrayal that happened between the two of us. No prizes for guessing who betrayed who. I betrayed her trust to a certain extent. I don't think I knew exactly the gravity of the consequences that were going to be inflicted upon her. I'm not sure that would have changed Oz's mind if he had known, but Yeah, there's a closeness also between the two of them. They are kind of two sides to the same coin in many ways. They both come from extraordinary pain and very kind of deeply troubled backgrounds, and they all have aspirational dreams of what they think the world should be and how they should be treated within that world. But there's a collision that happens throughout by the end of the season. There's a crash that takes place between the two of them, and it's well earned the way it was drawn. And she was a dream to dance with, Kristen. She was amazing as Sofia.